Hello, it's Erica of Erba Arts. We're here for Sunday demo, but on Monday, and I need to fix the camera. You can see the brace up there in the corner. There we go. I think that should work. Okay. So, it's a somewhat chilly day. I think I'm going to have to maybe turn the heat on tonight. I haven't turned it on yet. I've made it to November 3rd. I think it's actually supposed to be decent until Sunday, and then it like plummets. But it might need a little heat at night, and I can tell because Heloise is like glued to me. She's like, "Oh, it's cold." Okay, so what are we doing today? We're doing a bat, of course, from the setup. What I figured I'd do is I've got this ball of sort of medium wool. This is one of the ones I got from Brown Sheep Company. I still have some of this Border Leicester. Those two go really well. And then I have a little bit of this teal bamboo. I still have that green Tussa silk. I've got mulberry silk in more of a turquoisey color. Drop a piece. Nope. And then I have sari silk, both in the green and a turquoisey color as well. And so I think that's what we're going to do. That's the plan. So let me get you set up here. And we'll see. We'll hope the light lasts. So sunset is at 4:59 today. It is now 3 o'clock. And so the sun is definitely getting, still got some reflection way up on the skylight, but it is definitely getting behind the buildings and all that. So I'm going to unroll this first to see how much of it I have left, so I don't go using it all early on and then not have enough left at the end. Okay, that's good. So I have about this much. I think I'll divide that in half. That'll give me a better way to sort of measure it, maybe. This I know is like 3 ounces or something like that. I should have probably measured it, but this is the last. This is actually Top. It was a product they made for a little while, and then they decided that there were lots of other people selling Top, and they were better off doing their yarn. So they just said this was from their second shop. Okay, so I'm going to leave this area over here for the green. Imagine with my sleeve. Oh, and I left my water bottle in the front. Okay, but you do know I like to coordinate my bats with my outfits. Okay, no joking. So there will be a slight textural difference because this is Border Leicester roving, and then this is obviously the wool top. Hello, Skylin. So we're just going to do this edge, hopefully not go over the edge too much. There we go. Okay. So what have I been doing this morning? Well, actually, I'm going to talk about what I did this weekend. This weekend was my guild sale, an open house, and I did, some years I do better than others. I did a little better than average. I had one year where I did really, really, really well, and my hope always springs eternal that will happen again, but it didn't. But it was good, and I made progress on the rug. I'm just going to take this and break this in half here. Maybe, maybe not. Sometimes when it's thick like this, you have to like do it in pieces. There we go. So I'm past the halfway point on the rug. I will work on it again tomorrow. I'm going to go down tomorrow and just make sure I got my colors, that color, that color. Put the bamboo on. So tomorrow I'm going to go down and pack up all my stuff, get it in the van so I can leave on Thursday for Arkansas. And usually on Tuesdays we have open studio in the evening, and neither of the two people who normally run it can actually do it. And so I said I would do it. So I'm going to go down and continue to work on the rug. That'll be the last day I can work on it this week. And then I will work on it at least one day next week. I didn't get my Dharma. I was supposed to do a Dharma order this morning. I'm still sort of balancing some accounts. Make sure I have enough to get what I want instead of just the minimal stuff. So there's a little knot in here. I'm sort of pulling it apart. So that sorry silk, you really have to press it down. Okay. So I'm happy with that. Anyway, so Dharma currently, and by the way, if you buy stuff from Dharma, they're free shipping until it's like the 15th or the 17th or something. I think it's the 17th because that's a Monday. And so I'm trying to take advantage of that. But when you do free shipping, it's the lowest level. So if I ordered it like today, actually I ordered it by this morning, because usually like 11 p.m. Pacific time is sort of their cutoff. They can get it in the mail usually today, depending on how busy they are. They might be busier now because it is, of course, there's specials going on. But anyways, they have, usually I can get it by next Monday or Tuesday. So if I got it by Tuesday, I could die on Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday afternoon before I head to Wisconsin and have the new stuff ready. I don't know if that's going to happen. So we will just sort of cross our fingers and like I said, see what happens. You can always sort of see with this tussle silk where it didn't dye all the way through. I got it from a vendor when I was on the shows in Missouri. But I kind of like that light brown, it's that honey brown. I like that. Okay, let's get some of the mulberry silk. This mulberry silk is from Honeygold Acres. I like her colors. And I'll see her again, I think, in the end of the month, or near the end of the month, at Threads and Fiber. And I'll probably buy some stuff to stock up for winter mat making. I have some plans for that. If a lot of these teaching applications pan out, one of the things I want to do this winter is make a supply of, particularly for my Approaches to Spinning Art Bats class, but also my felting class, both of which require bats. I want to make sort of a bunch ahead of time to have sort of like, and set them aside, and those will be like ones I can pull out to put together the kits for the classes without my having to sit down each time I have a class coming up and make, if say I have a class that has 12 students in it and they get 2 bats each, that's 24 bats. And I still need, of course, to make bats to sell. So I wonder if I have the darker blue. I'll put a little bit of this lighter blue on. I'm wondering if I have the darker blue. Sorry, let me quickly me check in there because I think I'd want. Oh, I do have some. Look at this. I think this is gonna pop. It's gonna pick up the blue. Because we're gonna get a couple other colors in there, but I think I like that. Even though we're getting a couple additional colors. And then that gives us more depth. Yeah. Let's see if I can feel a difference. Nope. So that's one of my plans. And of course I have to work around the 2.5 to 3 weeks, however long I haven't bought my plane ticket yet. However long I'm gone in January. Press that down. But yeah, so I got more than. Just check it and make sure I haven't dropped anything. More than halfway on the rug. So of course, I realized afterwards I probably could have gone to a different Walmart, but I'm committed at this point. I'm using for the weft only peaches and cream, and the taupey brown color that matched some of the warp really well. I was really liking the way originally the brown was going to be mostly turquoise with little bits of brown, a tiny bit of ecru, however you say that. And I was just liking the way the brown looked. But I was like, oh, I'll just do a lot more brown with just a small bit of turquoise. And I'm like, but that means I had a big cone of turquoise. And I'm like, well, that means I need to go buy more of the brown. So I get to Walmart. They had one ball of it left. And, the balls are small. They're like 50-ounce ball. Oh, not 50 ounce. 50 gram balls. And so I'm like, uh-oh. And by that point, I've already was significantly into the color combo. And so I said, well, what I could do then is when I get to the halfway point, I could create a mirror, maybe or flipped mirror, so that the places that were brown on the first half would be turquoise. And then everything that was turquoise that would be brown. So I'd flip them. And so I should have enough brown to do that. Of course, I also discovered that the dark taupe that I bought yesterday was a different dye lot. And in the long run, it doesn't really matter, but I can see it. And so I'm sort of having to work through the anxiety of, I know that there's this slight variation in color. And of course that change in color doesn't happen like with a stripe in between. It's like right in the middle. But I'm still liking it. I do like brown and turquoise together. So, okay, so we'll do just a little bit of the light blue, turquoisey color. And then we got the green. Still on my Sorry Silk kick. And then there's the blue. It tried to escape. Making sure there's no giant pieces of red or something. A little bit of orange. Yeah, it'll be okay. Oh, yeah, they're working on the bridge still. Sounds like dump trucks. If you have a name suggestion, please pop it in the comments. So this one, unless somebody snaps it up before I leave on Thursday, this one is headed to the Northwest Arkansas Fiber Festival, which is my next show. And my last time camping at a festival this year. Oh, and I have just remembered that I forgot to contact my cat sitters. Should probably do that. Make sure Heloise is properly taken care of while I'm gone. Yeah, she's been all clingy. I don't know if you haven't already seen it. I have a video up on the page of her last night because after 2 days at the Guild, I came home. I sat on the sofa and she was cold, and so she got on the throat and she was kneading away. Isn't it? Yeah. Gives a great Tweety. Name is that? Yeah, it's given Lagoon or Lily Pad. Ooh. Oh, I've done Lagoon though. Yeah. Of course, I've had a Blue Lagoon bat. I am of that vintage. The last sort of blue-greeny one I did like this was By the Sea 2. But I hadn't thought Lily Pad. That might be a good one. Because I think I would, for Lily Pad, I might want, I don't know if I'd want more like white in it for like the flower. I don't know. Okay, there's a little bit of white. Pull out the next loop of this. Oh, getting the tag in the way. Okay, and then the blue. Yeah, I think that darker blue Starry Silk really does help there. Seafoam, okay. So I'm not sure about the green. The green is very grassy. Okay, so how much do we think we can on there more? Well, we got one. Okay, we'll divide this in half. That'll give us 2 more layers. Initially, I was going to be hosting. I thought I was going to be hosting the Craft In tonight on Wafa, because Lizette, who normally does that, is covering my spin along for the next 2 weeks because I'll be traveling on Thursdays, and but I thought that we agreed to. But it turns out I had agreed to cover during the holidays for her, which I'm perfectly fine with. A little more over here. So that opened up my evening. Gotta move that away from the band, otherwise you never want things to get tangled in your band. That is a bit of a disaster. I've had, whenever I'm teaching, I'm always reminding students, keep your stuff over here, not back here. Because it'll just you'll push it into the band, and then you'll have this tangled mess, and nothing works, and all of that. So, cloudless fields, clear summer day. All good suggestions. Dangly bits here. Oops. I'm going to come back and fix that. The drum grabbed a lot out of my hand. Okay. Go. One of the other things I've been slowly doing is looking at or researching other drum carters. As you know, I mean, I mainly use Sebastian. He's my favorite drum carter, and he was my first, and I like him the best. But if I want to do more teaching, I need more drum carters. So I have a standard brother. His name is Brother Padfowl. Of course, after the Mystery Series. I have this little no-name Canadian hand-fed carter. So there's no feed tray on that. So this is the turquoise sari silk. Take the blue, but we're going to sort of look it over because there's this sort of hot pink bit. I'm trying to pull out if I can. I think I got most of that. Okay, there's a little bit still in there. And then I have Squirt, who is a baby brother. Do I have anything else? Oh, and then I have Fancy Kitty kitten. I think her name has become Molly. And so I need to get some more. So I've been, and the goal. Yes, I know I have two brothers, but often if I'm doing a really small class, I use Squirt as to do the demo on. So at some point I'd like to get a Louette. I'm actually not super wild about the Louettes as drum carters, but you know, I might. Yeah. Louise, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? We're having a conversation now. I don't know what she's in the box, or are you in the litter box? Where are you? I don't know where she is. Anyways, so yeah, I should have a Louette. Not wild about them, but my goal is to have as many different brands as I can have, so people can try the different brands before they commit to one. So Sebastian is a classic, which is a UK brand. I want to get a Giant from Woolmakers in the Netherlands. The Louette. I would like to get an Ashford Wild Carter. Or Mad Carter? I think that's a Wild Carter. I think the Mad Batter was the Strouch, which they don't make anymore. So if I stumble on one, I stumble on one. I stumble on a cheap Patrick Green. That would be nice, but or a cheap Louette. Yes, hello there. She's down below the tripod meowing at me. What do you want? You have food. You have water. The front door is open so you can play on the stairs. Do you want attention? You can't have it right now. You want to play? I can't tell. She's not, they're not as vocal as dogs. Though she does have some commands she knows. Stop looking back at me. Yeah, I've used Imagicraft. I just, they're very expensive. I have, I probably should get a Clemis and Clemis of some kind. Probably one of their earlier ones because their newer ones are just as expensive as Magicrafts. So this is our last layer. Come back and fix this. There's the bamboo. Now the biggest sort of logistical issue for me is I can only teach at festivals where either one, I don't vend, or two, there are days, usually before the festival, before the marketplace opens. Because, I'm by myself in my booth, so I have to stay with my booth. So it's only if I'm not vending at that time. And so there are some festivals where the day or two before the marketplace opens, there's classes, or a couple have them classes in the evening. And then, of course, there's places like where I never got in as a vendor. And so I could, I could teach there. I just found out I missed a deadline for a show. So I'm on, they said they put me on the wait list. That one's for vending. It's the Wool Gathering. So, and they did actually offer me a spot last year, but it conflicted with DFW. There's a big piece of red in here. We're going to go in and pull it out. Sort of red, blue, something like that. Okay, last bit of blue. See what we can find that's not got a lot of red in it. Oh, look at that big piece of red right there. We don't want that piece. Let's see if this will... That looks like that'll be better. There's a little bit of red, but hopefully it'll be okay. Sapphire green. Ooh, aquamarine. Okay, good suggestion. So what do you think? I think we're done. Okay, just going to move this out of the way. And I will say it is already shadowy enough here that I'm not going to be able to take photos until tomorrow. I'm not going to get good color representation. But isn't it pretty? So you're going to have to tune in tomorrow for the photos. But we will weigh it so we can find out how much it weighs. So Heloise is like 3 yards from me. She's sort of at the intersection of sort of the entryway, where the entryway ends up behind the sofa, and the rest of the condo. And I think she's like, if you walk this way, I will know. And then I can figure out what she's really asking for. So how much do you think it weighs? Well, and what's interesting is you get the shininess from the Tussa silk and the mulberry silk, but the sari silk is not got that luminescence that the other silk has. Mulberry silk particularly is quite shiny. Tessa's a bit more matte, and then the Sari silk is texture. Okay. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of combing action. Okay. Once we weigh it out, look at that. Look at all that texture. And so remember, I will tease it out so it will. That green section will be a bit larger. You can see the green section better on the back. Just that sort of edge, which will get bigger once I tease it out. Okay. So let me move this. Let me move this. And move this. Otherwise, we won't have a flat surface. I'm actually feeling kind of heavy. This is your chance to guess. If you'd like to guess, if you get closest, you win trophy emojis. Woohoo! Okay, I'm going to tear it out. Drum roll, please. Oh, no, hang on. I think we're going to flip it the other way. It's a little top heavy. Okay. What'd you guess? Did you give me some guesses? Okay. It is 2.76 ounces. Yes, 2.76. Quickly write that down. Oh, she saw me move. She just made a meow. Okay, I'm trying to find my pen. Where's my pen? I don't know where my pen is. Let's see if any of these pens work. They might be in here because they don't work. Okay, so it is 2... Hang on. Okay. I bumped it. 2.76 ounces. Yeah, she is... Okay, this pen is broken. That's why it's in that position. She's down below the tripod staring at me again. Okay, so I will look over the name suggestions, pick something out, take a photo tomorrow when the light is better. Okay. Otherwise, you can tune in Wednesday morning if you're interested on Wafa. I'll also be doing my Wafa demo then as well at 10 a.m. Central. So, by the way, how's the time change working for you? As the kitty, she'll remember. She's not into pens. She likes candy wrappers. She likes the strips. She's got a ribbon that she likes, and she likes the silver strips off my poly mailers. Those are her toys. She doesn't play with anything that's actually a toy. Okay, well, thank you very much for tuning in. And I'll see you around. I'll be downloading this and uploading it to YouTube sometime today. Okay? Take care. And I'll see you around on social media.